Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Dell. Welcome if you're new and welcome if you're coming back. It's good to have you here with me today. We're going to get some channel messages as well as do a tarot reading with the Golden Art Nouveau. Just some channel information, everything that you need to know about me can be found in the description box. How to book a personal private reading. It's only done through my website, dellegoddessintuitive.com or dellegoddess.com. Any songs, mentions, things like that come in through the channel, I just also throw that in the description box as a resource for you. Songs go onto the Spotify playlist. It's a really, really wonderful, intuitive tool if you want to use it that way. You can just hit shuffle and pull a message through a song for you if you want to. So it's also just fun to listen to. Good music. Yeah. So please do consider subscribing to the channel if you find that the messages resonate with you. And thank you to everyone who already has subscribed and helped the channel to grow. It's wonderful to see it grow and to have you be a part of that. So thank you so much. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and comments. I love reading them. And yeah. We're going to get situated. I'm hearing it's important that you find your North Star right now and you find and reconnect with what your resonance is. I feel like a lot of us, I'm actually hearing, I listen to these as well, so I'm getting the messages with you guys too. But I feel like a lot of us are tapping into energies that are in the external, they're not of us. And it's getting confusing to discern, okay, what's best for me, what's best for my highest and greatest good, because there's a lot of enmeshment going on. So if you connect with the feeling of being an empath or being an empath, this particularly is a strong message for you. So all the messages aren't going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. So we can place this into practice right now by saying and leaning into, okay, is this message for me, truly for me? And then is it or isn't it? You know, using your intuition to decipher that. But I'm just seeing some cord cutting, some clearing away, karmic ties and bonds that are no longer serving your highest and greatest good. The way that Spirit's bringing this forward is, and the way that you can decipher if this is a bond that needs to be clearing, is it a message or a pattern or a behavior or a lesson that seems to just keep repeating. You're finding that you're telling yourself the same story over and over. And every job I go to, this always happens. Or every friendship I ever had, they always end up being like this. And it could even be, I'm hearing someone say like, every friend I've had is a Gemini. It's like, what does that mean? But anyway, not to laugh, I'm not making sport of it or fun of it, but it's coming through to keep it light, to bring it to your awareness that, okay, maybe we are telling ourselves a narrative or a story, we keep perpetuating it into being because we forget we're the creator of our own reality. So if we're commanding the story and saying like, this is what's happening, it's going to keep happening. So it's important, I'm getting Spirit saying, to take the reins as though you are the driver of your own chariot and decide where do you want your life to go. If you want to subscribe to something, or you hear a teaching or a relevant belief or something that feels good for you, it's important to keep in touch with it to see, okay, does this still resonate for me, or is this something that needs to be cleared? It served me for a purpose, but now I've grown out of it. What do I believe now? So this message is coming through just to remind you and to guide you to say, okay, let me do an inventory of what I actually believe and what I want my reality to look like, because maybe some things from the past just aren't in alignment with who we have become now, or who we are becoming or growing into. It's not in alignment with our being. Yeah, so with the arrival of spring comes newness, and this happens all the time. I'm hearing it happens once a year with this special kind of an energy, and I'm seeing they're showing a window of bringing something new into creation possibly for you, if this resonates, between the arrival of spring in the northern hemisphere or the vernal equinox to Beltane. So I believe that's May 1st in the calendar year. So there's something about it being a very monumental, like where there's momentum. Momentum is building and allowing you to be able to, I heard, catapult your new self into reality. So there's this generation of creative energy that's being, I'm almost seeing like a tumbling or a refinement. They're showing me how some people will take a raw stone and tumble it, like they actually make a tumbler for that. we have a tumbler too for sea glass. It's called the ocean. So when glass washes ashore and it's not ready, it's still a little too clear or sharp, we throw it back into the ocean. So the rocks and sand can tumble it, and then someone else can find it. So, but yeah, that's, anyway, the gist of it is that there's this tumbling going on. So the cloud is, or the sky is doing something really interesting right now. So it's been overcast for days, which is, usually we get a little break, but it's a sunny area usually where I live, but the overcast has been here. And it actually appears like the sky has turned blue, but it's not. It's still all cloud and it looks purple. So that's, I don't know if it's relevant for somebody, but I'm getting that it's just like the last of the dog days are over is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Florence and the Machine song. I'm not getting the lyrics, so you might want to look that up, but I'm hearing like the dog days are over. So it could just be that there's a period of hibernation or stuck energy or something like that, where it's just been weighing on you. It feels heavy, or it could feel loud is also what I'm getting. It's like it's ushering out. It's like the last few days of a darkness before the light begins to shine again. The sun begins to shine again. But I'm hearing like the light illuminates. So it could be too representative of you and your internal world, where it might just feel heavy, but there's something about the arrival of spring with Beltane around there is like very regenerative to, again, they're saying launch yourself back out into society as who you want to be, not who others have told you to be or conditioned you to be, who you actually want to be. So Spirit and universe, God is reminding you have a say in who you want to be. You know, you are yourself. So also coming through too is with the, what are you subscribing to? If you followed a belief or a label or something, I feel like you're also starting to see what labels you have affixed onto yourself or your experience, your being, to see if those even resonate anymore. Specifically coming through, and please take it if it resonates, you'll know if it's for you or not, but and there's no judgment at all through any of the reading ever. So it's just, but it's coming through as like, especially if you have subscribed to a twin flame connection or something like that, I see you kind of stripping that away, where it's just like, it's almost like you're recognizing, or you're willing to see it as a possibility of it being another construct of the ego to make sense of something that doesn't need to be made sense of. So that's not going to resonate with everyone. I apologize if that offends anybody, but that's what's coming through. So it's just this realization, and this, I'm just seeing that there's more to life, and if they're like than the restrictions we place on things by affixing a label to it. So it can only look like this is how it's coming through. When I just keep seeing someone ripping a label off of something and being like, it doesn't have to, it can be whatever it is, by just allowing it to be what it is. So I think the more you're allowing your own inner light to shine, the more you're allowing yourself just to simply be without containing yourself to a specific label or something, or societal requirement, you're finding that it's being mirrored back to you, where it's like, well, wait a minute, maybe I actually don't need to belong in a twin flame connection. Maybe it's just the connection that I have, and that's the end of it. That's okay. It's unique to me because I'm my own being. I'm my own light. Even though we're all connected and energy is all connected, it's just, and we are all one. I'm just getting, I'm hearing that song. Is it We Are One? I have to look that one up. I'm not getting a clear read on it, but when they bring through message like songs like that, it's to keep it up. It's not so heavy, it's not condemning, it's to keep it up. So there's freedom and release, and just recognizing, like, you know what, I'm just gonna be, and I'm gonna enjoy the freedom of that, because it's just, life is meant to be lived. You know, it's right there in the word life, live. It's, you know, it's there. So to be is to exist. We exist through life, through being alive. Yeah, so embodying and embracing fully your potential, shining your unlimited light, because it's a source that never runs out. Not even when this incarnation is over, you're always a source of light, you know. It's like, I'm just seeing like dancing. But yeah, I feel like there's more with that, but I feel like there's like, you know where you're going with this, meaning I think it's just, I feel like it's an invitation to explore how free you can become, how free you can allow yourself to be, how much liberation you can actually experience within yourself, and really getting clear on the areas of life in which that you have held yourself back or continue to hold yourself back. And again, I just keep seeing labels being ripped off of things and crumpling it up and throwing it into the garbage or wherever it belongs. So, but that's how it's coming through. I'm feeling like waking up to this, like it's another level of waking up to something where it feels so connecting to know that we are not alone, to read about experiences that other people are going through on the internet and trying to figure out if we fit into other people's experiences, and oh, that's what I was going through, how interesting. And in some cases, yeah, that can definitely be solidifying and helpful, but I'm getting that it's not everyone's experience or story is going to resonate with you perfectly because you are your own resonance. And they just keep circling back to this like infinity symbol, where it's again like we're all connected, we're all one, but we don't have to fit super tight into this puzzle piece that really isn't ours, because we're our own puzzle piece. And it feels like where there's the longing to fit in is actually a construction of the ego. I just felt like I gave birth. That was the message. That's where we had to get to. Feels like where you are trying to fit in is actually just another construct of the ego, because we already all fit in. We're already all connected. So sometimes it's scary to admit to ourselves. I'm like, I can't tell you, I feel this like really freeing influx of energy, so maybe you feel it too. But sometimes it's almost scary to see just how free we actually are, because what will we do with that freedom? You know, we want to expand, but again, that's when things like fear and identity and ego step in and try to keep you boxed in, because it's really at the heart of it. Like, what will we do with the freedom, you know? And we can just be. We can see where we're guided to. We can see what wants to be created through me. I am a creative expression. How do I want to express? How do I want to be? And there's no right or wrong answer with that. So, wow. I hope you can feel that too. I just feel like that regenerative, rejuvenated energy where it's like, yeah. So I don't even know that we need to go into the tarot. I kind of want to end the reading there, but I'm hearing just to get a couple of cards. So like to solidify the message. So I will honor that. Something I'm observing is, I feel like I did this yesterday. I don't even remember, or in the previous video. I can't remember though now. The amount of time it took to shuffle, I think I would have been self-conscious about. So, but in this shuffling, for some reason, that didn't even pop into my head. It just was like allowing it to be. So there's definitely a frequency there, like that it's just continuing, where it's like, no, everything is exactly on time, or because it just is. Something interesting, like I was meditating too this morning, and I'm just feeling guided to share, or I'm longing to share, so would like to, if that's okay. It's just something about time being, it's just space and distance, or speed and distance, or something like that, and velocity was coming through. It's just interesting to me that how we can measure time and the way things accelerate. If you think about space, not to get too deep into this, but it's just the fact that time travel is really how fast can you get from one place to the other, you know, and it's really just about how quickly can we cover this distance, and that's actually how time is measured. So yeah, not to get too deep into it, but I just felt like I wanted to share that. So Four of Wands is on the bottom of the deck. This, I'm getting inner union, I'm getting union with the self, and then union with others around you. So I feel like there's something very liberating, and there's a release in this, but it becomes part of your norm. They're having me work from the end to the beginning, so you're creating harmonious unions around you. Two of Cups and the Magician. I think there was a message that came through at the very beginning where it's I don't remember what it was. Something about the stories we tell ourselves. Oh, if it's every friend I have ends up being like this, or every workplace I have ends up being like this. You're creating your own reality now, where if you want that, you can create it and you recognize that. But I see someone saying, like, changing the narrative. Everything goes really well for me, like, all the time. I'm really grateful. I feel supported. You know, I have wonderful, enriching, nourishing, and supporting relationships all around me. Because the one I have with myself is enriching and supportive and nurturing. And then you call that in. Don't be surprised if where there was a wedge between you and someone else or something just magically heals, it goes away. And it's because it's reflective of the inner work that you're doing. When you truly focus on the plants that you are planting, the seeds that you have sown, you can just allow it to be. And it's, you know how a crop, like, we can plant it and we can kind of look at it. And the earth tells us what we need. I was in Wales some years ago now, and where I was staying, there was this really beautiful garden, and I was sitting on a bench in the garden, just sitting there, and this woman came through. She's like kind of like the caretaker of the grounds, and I guess I didn't startle her, but she was like, "Oh, hello," and I was like, "I'm just enjoying the garden, if that's okay." And she said, "Of course." And I said, "Oh, it must be so much work to take care of all of this garden," because it was beautiful. It had like walking paths and little brooks and stuff running through it and flowers. And she said, "Oh no, I just take a walk every day and it tells me what it needs." And that was the end of the conversation. And she was doing that. And I was like, wow. And then it occurred to me, life is kind of like that. We can just go about our life, and literally things sort of just tell us what we need. Like, we can feel into what we need to do. When we're connected to ourselves truly, and the focus is on ourselves, we can really see, like, okay, this needs to be done. And I started doing this every day. I just kind of wake up and go, hey, where are we flowing to today? Where does my energy need to flow to today? And it will highlight, or, you know, my intuition will show me, like, you need to focus on this first today. And when I listen to that, and when I check in with that throughout the day, I get so much done. I'm way more productive, but I'm also enjoying my time and my energy and my day, like, so much better. Some days too, I think, you know, it's like it'll guide me. Oh, you should spend time with this person, or you should go out and spend time with friends. You should spend time with Suki. You should, you know, and it feels really, really good just to honor, like, what needs my attention today. So you can do that too. Seven of Pentacles is saying you can definitely call that. And sometimes the Seven of Pentacles, it's interpreted as, like, you're looking at the crop, but it's not doing what you want it to do. So now it's time to do something different so we can take control over it. And I'm getting like the total opposite of that, where it's like the cards revealing itself, where this person's just looking, like, lovingly at the plant and saying, like, when you need me, you let me know. You know, the goal is to produce grapes. You know, the goal is to produce watermelon, squash, whatever. You know, and then you know, sometimes we're guided intuitively, like, hey, like, maybe look into this a little bit. So maybe you don't know how that plant actually needs to be pruned or supported or whatever, but your intuition is constantly guiding things. So during the pandemic in the area where I live in, when everything was shut down, we got to see all this wildlife starting to come. I live near the ocean, so I was at the ocean every single day during this because I lived like less than a block away. I was right there. And I actually got to see the color of the ocean change from when I was little, because I've been here a while, and to present day. I could actually witness the color of the ocean changing to a more clearer, bluer color, and I was like, wow. So with the Two of Cups, I'm also getting to when you remind yourself you are a creative being, and you're switching from like a consumerism, what are you buying into, to a truly creative being and way of being, and an output and an outlook on your life. It's like things just naturally begin to heal because we're not in the way anymore. We're getting out of our own way. And you were never in the way, but it's sometimes the ego just pops in and it starts to stir things up. But it's really this. It's I need to control something, and you don't. So it's and you never did. You never did. So again, there's something just about letting go, flowing, getting back into flow state. And the emperor, and then you become the emperor of you're an empire. You know, it's you master this super foundational aspect of yourself, and it's really just honoring, like, I trust myself, I trust in knowing where I'm going. I rely on nothing external anymore. I only rely on myself, and it just makes so much more nurturing, respectful, mutually respectful. It's like whatever you are pouring into yourself, you see it in your external environment, your external world. But this is like total self-mastery, you know, without control. So something else too, in dance, I have a very long dance background. I think I trained and danced for 27 years, I want to say. And we do the same drills over and over in ballet. You do your pliés, your tendus, if you know, you know. And it sounds like it's repetitive, and it's like, yeah, we should have learned this already. But the reason that we do it over and over and over again is to gain stability and to gain that training, and it's ingrained in the muscle. So that way when we go onto the floor, we go to center, meaning we're going to dance now without the bar, because we can't hold on to the bar forever. It's like letting go of the training wheels, and then all of that training supports your ability to finally be able to flow. So I feel like if this message is reaching you, you have done that training, you've done the technique building, you have really built up your stability, you're sounding yourself and certain yourself, and you're okay with this growing constant evolution that's taking place as you embody more and more and more of your own being, and you can kindly and finally flow. You can flow into being as the dance of life. So Eckhart Tolle says, life is the dancer and you are the dance, because you are the one that's just flowing and everything else is there set up, you know, for yourself. Again, it's what does the garden need? It tells me. I don't need to go searching and micromanage everything. It just is. I don't need to control anymore, and I'm letting go. So with the 4, I also get a ton of liberation, of freedom, of celebration. This is also like the card of Mayday. So this is Beltane. So we've got, I don't think, is there a maypole in this one? I always see a maypole in this, but I'm getting Beltane energy too with this as well. And then underneath that we have the World. I'm going to just cover her up just so I can show you real quick, which is about cycle completing, beginning a new cycle all over again. But we're always in a cycle, always, you know. And then the 10 of Cups. And then under that, the 9 of Pentacles. So it's emotional fulfillment, happiness, you doing you, and being really successful at that. And it keeps going on and on and on. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords. It's like, it's really one thing leads to another in the best possible ways, just because you're pouring into yourself and you're just letting yourself be. You're allowing and you're letting yourself be. There's freedom in being yourself, and you know that now. Now I'm going to close out the reading. So 24:24 on the clock as I just looked this up yesterday. That's why I'm feeling to mention this. But I have not worked with the Lenormand deck or a Lenormand deck. I didn't even know what this was. I've stuck in my tarot lane so you know, I've never encountered a Lenormand deck, but I was researching this last night. And I wanted to know what the number 24 represented in that deck, and it's the heart. So definitely always love, I feel like, is the flowing energy of everything. And when we are just being, it's love just naturally flows. So yeah, and then I just felt to mention that. So anyway, I do hope this message found you doing well. I hope it inspires you, and yeah, I hope it inspires you to just be yourself, because you are more than enough. You always were. You are plenty. You are beautiful and you are lovable. So thank you so much for being here, for being you. Take care, and until next time, stay well. Bye.